All right, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So there are 4 money moves that you want to pay attention to, and you want to go ahead and execute on either a combination of these or on all of them. This isn't necessarily a step-by-step guide. You see, it's not necessarily numbered from the least important to most important, nor is this a video geared around you have to do all of these in order for this to succeed. You can literally just pick up one of these 4 different methods or 4 different ways that you can get rich in 2022 and just run with it, right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the first one. And real quick, if you found value in content like this, consider hitting the subscribe button down below, join the official community. And don't forget that anytime I'm not posting on here, I'm posting over on the Inside with Irv show, which is my podcast style channel. Let's go ahead and jump right into the first one, and that's this: education. One of the main pillars in wealth building. I don't care if you are investing in NFTs. I don't care if you are on the verge of becoming the next Steve Jobs. I don't care if you are trying to take over your city with maybe an industry or a brilliant idea that you have, or if you're looking to invest in stocks. Whatever your philosophy is, whatever demographic you live in, whatever religious system or belief you have, or whatever thoughts you have about money, it all boils down to the main core pillar in wealth building, and that's going to be education. Specifically, try to find an avenue that you want to get educated on. Now, notice that I'm not giving you need to focus on reading these lists of books. Notice that I'm not telling you need to focus on this specific industry. While I do have videos that are geared around that, I think that this is going to be based off of a conviction that you have, off of maybe some education that you're looking to lean toward. Now, I'm not talking about formal education. That I will say. I'm not talking about an education system of going out and getting a college degree. I'm not talking, because you wouldn't need a YouTube video to tell you that, right? I'm not talking about going out and if you want to be a doctor, then go into medical school. You don't need this video for that. This is more for those of us that we are maybe looking to pick up a bit more coding because we want to maybe work some things on the back end in our sales funnel. Maybe this is for some of us that we want to get stronger in our sales presentation, and we don't necessarily understand the fundamental steps of sales. From the moment that you acquire a customer, to when you greet a customer, to the follow-up of a customer, to the customer acquisition, all the way into the point where you've closed a sale and now you have them going up an ascension ladder, which is just a fancy way of saying your ability to monetize a client over and over and over again, which raises the LTV, which is the lifetime value of a customer. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then that's because I've been educated in that space. But maybe you don't care necessarily about sales. Maybe you're more so along the lines of, I want to start investing in options, or I want to learn more about crypto. Guess what comes in on the back end of that? That's right. You're going to need to either read, you're going to need to invest money or time into a mentor, and or you're also going to, in my opinion, delegate at least 40 hours into a subject before you can actually comprehend the entirety of what that industry or what that investment actually is. I know Gary Vee says it's right around 40. I'm going to go ahead and maybe push it a little bit more to the 40-50 hour range. And again, this isn't to necessarily make you an expert. This is just to give you a good grasp of what you're actually getting into. Number 2 is going to sound a bit counterintuitive, especially since we talk a lot about credit on this channel, but it does serve a purpose, and that is to get out of pointless debt. Notice that I said pointless, and I want to add another adjective in there to describe this type of debt, and that is useless debt. The most weight-bearing thing that you can have, apart from an indecision, is the weight of debt that is not going to move the meter of building wealth. Those 2 things right there, between indecision, could possibly point back to what we just finished mentioning, maybe a lack of education. Now we have debt that's not going to move the needle. What type of debt is that we're talking about? You can have a car that, yes, it takes you from point A to point B, but it doesn't necessarily serve past the gauge of actually creating a status symbol. Because I know a lot of guys, a lot of girls, that they use some of their cars to bring in a bit more revenue for their business. If you're literally just someone that you want the fanciest car, and that car is costing you your ability to invest more money, I'm getting rid of the car. Now, On the other side of that, if it's actually bringing you more money, meaning it's putting you in front of high profile clients, it's maybe helping you create awareness in your business, or maybe helping you build your brand, which is going to be a select few of people that actually know how to do that. Me personally, I'm getting rid of the car. Again, this is my thoughts. If maybe you're on the other side of that and you have debt with maybe some leases that you took on before you started getting a bit smarter with your money, and maybe there's some accumulated payments that need to be paid down onto your credit card, and it's freezing you up from being able to run ads. It's freezing you up from being able to acquire more equipment. It's freezing you up from being able to invest in better products. It's freezing you up from being able to invest in maybe your education. Whatever that is, try to take care of that debt first before you tack on good, better debt to replace it. It's like a pendulum, right? Anytime you have the pendulum swings this way, it's going to swing this way until it meets an outside force that's going to hold it. And in this case, this is known as bad debt. Now let's go into where we at. Number three. Number three is going to kind of be counterintuitive to what we just finished mentioning, which is get out of debt as fast as possible. But now that you're out of that bad debt, I would recommend, if you're really looking to build some wealth in 2022, stay liquid. And the reason that you want to stay liquid, I know this is going to be a little bit outside of the box from what a lot of gurus tell you, which is just have all of your money in stocks, just have all of your money in real estate. There's a time and a place for that, but you can only get to that point if you are liquid, because if not, you are going to have something called that's an opportunity cost. An opportunity cost is when, let's say, there's an opportunity that presents itself and you don't have the cash readily available. So let's say somebody comes up with a brilliant idea, or there is an investment property. You've ran the numbers back and forth, and you're like, man, I really want to get into this property, or man, I really want to invest or be an angel investor or come into this deal, but I don't have enough capital to maybe take ownership or part stake in this company or part ownership into this property. Or if there's a dip in the market, I can't necessarily partake in buying that dip. Well, guess what? That's costing you an opportunity, hence where the word comes from, opportunity cost. So my recommendation is, and again, everyone has their own goals, everyone has kind of like their own meter. You want to have anywhere between, if you wanted to start off small, $25,000 to $50,000 liquid, or if you want to really push the needle, I'd say $250,000 to maybe $500,000 liquid in the event that an opportunity comes your way. Now, again, I can't give you a direct number because I don't necessarily know where you're at in your business, or I don't necessarily know what market you're in. You could very well push that past 7 figures, but I'm sure for the majority of us that are watching this content right now, 50 grand to 100 grand is going to be suffice to make some of the moves that you want to make. And then number 4, last but not least, we're going to have either get into a business, buy a business, reinvest back into your business, and take a look at some cash producing assets. This again is going to be a bit more of a blanket statement. And I wanted to word it like this specifically because I don't want anyone to get pigeonholed into this is the one vehicle that's going to make me $1 million this year. It's not how this works. You have to get into vehicles that you're not just necessarily passionate about, but that you know enough about. So if there's any twists and turns, you know how to navigate around them. There's really 2 things that happens when you're trying to either get into business. You're either going to be the person that comes with the brilliant idea, but maybe you're a bit low on capital. Guess what? You're going to bring in other people that are going to fund the idea for you. Or you're going to be on the other side where someone that you know has a brilliant idea, which is kind of where we're segueing to with this part right here of just some different avenues that you can invest in. You are going to find someone, either a friend, a relative, or maybe an old buddy that has a great idea. Or if maybe you are trying to shop to buy a business, someone's going to come up with a good idea, or they already have a profitable idea, but they don't have enough cash behind them. So guess who's going to come in as either an angel investor, maybe an investor for a startup, or maybe a VC, a venture capitalist, whatever that is. You can start this at a small scale. You don't necessarily have to be the next Shark Tank, host, right? You can do this right within your town, right within your city. So these are different avenues that I would specifically look at if I'm looking to build some real wealth in 2022. You have real estate, you have stocks, you have crypto, but I wanted to give you something that's a bit more out of the box, which is the purpose of this video. If you found value in this content, consider hitting the subscribe button down below. Join the official community. Don't forget that anytime I'm not posting on here, I'm posting. So if you like what we have going on over here, you'll love what we have going on over there. Once again, I appreciate you guys checking me out. Till next time, everyone, I will see you in the next video.